Hey, what's up, my people? How you doing? My name is Dalton, and this is my channel. Now, this is going to be. At first, I wasn't gonna make one, but then I got inspired to make a video about Black History Month. Uh, this is February 2023. Okay, and this is Black History Month. And one thing I know about Black History Month is this. For me, this is my opinion. Black History Month isn't a month. Black History Month is every day for me as an Afro American. Okay. Um, there's a couple things that I've seen that I'm not crazy about, and one of the things is that more and more I see uh, the conservatives do it, conservatives as well as liberals. Okay, and liberals get mad when you don't want to be enslaved by their methods. Okay, when you refuse to do that, then they get mad at you. Okay, when you're Afro American, and I'm talking mainly about white liberals as well as white conservatives. Okay, um, it's kind of like they want to control you, and if you do not, it's still a form of slavery. Okay, whether it's a white liberal or conservative. Uh, the fact is that if they want to control you by putting you in a box, and if you go up against what they want, then all of a sudden you're a bad person. It's like I remember there's some people used to tell me all the time, Dalton, I know Afro Americans heard this. Dalton, you're not black. You're not an N word. You're black. You're not an N word. Okay. And I told them straight up. I said, well, and they were white liberals. I told them straight up. I said, okay. I said, but I guarantee you, the moment I piss you off or not do anything that you want me to do, then I become that N word to you. Because it's like a psychological game of liberals like to enslave you in a sense. And if you go beyond what they want or don't say what they want, then all of a sudden you're not what they consider, you know, a Afro American or a black person. You're all of a sudden you're the N. Okay. Now, one thing I don't like that I see happening more and more each day is that I see more and more society keeps trying to push in the Latin American struggle and trying to combine it with the Afro American struggle. And they try to delete the Afro American and African struggle by combining them. And I hate it when they do that because they did the same thing with gay rights. Okay. And I have nothing against, I mean, if you're gay, that's fine. That's you. Okay. But I'm saying that this world is big enough that each category can have its own separate place and doesn't have to overlap. And for the longest time, they did the same thing before a lot of the gay rights really got established. They tried to combine the struggle of gay rights with Afro American rights. They always do that with any race. Okay, that has a struggle. They try to dilute the Afro American and African struggle and combine it with something else. And it's kind of like people who are angry and competitive against each other, trying to get to the top. don't realize that there's more than enough room at the top for everybody. Okay, and there's enough room for each individual's struggle and successes without trying to combine it and overlap with something else. And the one thing I don't like what they do about the Latin American struggle, and yes, that includes and the illegal alien struggle, whether it's Latin American or someone else, is the fact is it's apples and oranges. Okay, Afro Americans, just as well as Africans, and they are not the same. They have two different cultures, two different. I mean, one's not better than the other. They just have two different cultures, but they do have a combined struggle. Okay. Now, and I hate it when people try to, oh, it's African struggle. No, it's two different cultures, and they have the right to be respected as two different cultures, Afro American and African, without taking respect from each other. Okay. And now, the reason that the struggle going on against illegal aliens, and we're just going to say, are undocumented workers, no matter who they are, but we're just going to focus on like Mexican and Latin right now because that's kind of in the news. The Afro-American and African didn't want to come to America. Okay? They were forced to come here. Okay? Many Latin Americans right now want to come to America because they feel like they can get a better life. Afro Americans and Africans didn't want to be ripped from the culture and brought over here. Okay? They did not want that. And it happened. So it's apples and oranges. But nevertheless, liberal society is trying to combine the Latin American struggle with the African and Afro-American struggle, and they are apples and oranges. They are not the same. What is the same is the hate that they get from racist bigots, whether it's their own race or a different race. And that is something that we all have in common. And I like to clarify that because the liberal media is trying to combine all this stuff together, and they're not the same. They're trying to combine gay rights, and there's nothing wrong with it. Everybody in the world has a right to be happy, with Afro-American struggle and African struggle, and it's not the same. Okay? For one main thing is this. You can hide and pretend not to be gay. I'm not saying you should, and I'm sorry for those who have to, but you can. You can't pretend not to be black, especially when you have a lot of that African blood in you, like me. You can't pretend that. Okay? They're going to see that a mile away. Okay? So that right there is miles away from each other. Okay? I don't care how white you try to act, they're going to see that dark skin color. Matter of fact, you have some East Indian people that are darkest that I've ever seen. And even when I was living in Seattle, darker than some of my relatives that are very dark skinned. Okay? But those East Indian people are still accepted into society and into the business world and the tech world way before Afro Americans ever will be. Okay? Don't get delusioned because once a year, once a month, they try to throw Afro American a bone. Okay? And then after that, it's kind of like those what do you call it? Those particular Christians that are Satan spawned 6 days a week, repent for themselves on Sunday, and then refill that canister of evil again for another 6 days. Okay? It's like, oh, well, I can do what I want to do. I can repent for it. Which is one reason I have a certain respect for people who are atheists. Okay? You know, it's like they realize they got to work on themselves as an individual. And they got to make the most out of every single day. Because they realize that the next day is not promised to them. And many atheists I met do not sit, and nothing against Christian, but they don't pray and then they don't go and pray and then sit and wait for something to fall in their lap. Okay? They understand that to make or break depends upon them. And I respect that. I'm not atheist. I'm spiritual, non-denominational Christian, but I'm really, really not into religion. Okay? I'm more spiritual, if anything. I'm not into religion. That's not me. But let's not get off the subject. So, Black History Month. Black History Month is every day for me. Kind of like one of my favorite songs, Every Day is Halloween. But no, Black History Month is every day for me. So yeah, it's really nice that Spotlight has been shown once a month, every year towards Afro Americans and Africans too. But it's every day for me. Okay, my color doesn't come off. And even if my color come off, it's every day for me. Okay. And that is my Black History Month. Oh, one other thing. I am about sick and tired of different races that are not African, Afro American, thinking and trying to pretend and trying to normalize the N word and saying it's okay for them to say it. And then when someone gets upset and meet them in a dark alley one-on-one and they get their butt whipped, they're walking around scratching their head confused. Look, if your name is David and I go around calling you buckwheat, you're not going to be happy. It's not okay because it's not your name. Okay? So this society and everything trying to normalize the N word, saying it's okay for anybody to say it to anybody, in my world is BS. And BS do not stand for bachelors in science. It stands for bull. And you know the rest. All right? Peace out. Much love. As you subscribe, if you like to, share this. Give it a thumbs up.